The story of Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth, shaping the land, filling the seas, and placing the stars in the sky. On the sixth day, he formed man from the dust of the ground and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life. This man was named Adam. God placed Adam in the Garden of Eden, a paradise filled with every kind of fruit-bearing tree. In the middle of the garden stood two special trees, the tree of life and the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. God commanded Adam, saying he may eat freely from any tree in the garden, but must not eat from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, for on the day he does, he shall surely die. Seeing that Adam was alone, God said it was not good for him to be without a companion. He caused Adam to fall into a deep sleep, took one of his ribs, and formed a woman, Eve, to be his helper and companion. Adam recognized her as bone of his bones and flesh of his flesh, and they lived together in the garden, unashamed of their nakedness. But the serpent, more cunning than any other creature, sought to deceive Eve. It questioned God's command, suggesting that eating the forbidden fruit would not lead to death, but would open their eyes, making them like God, knowing good and evil. Eve, seeing that the fruit was good for food and pleasing to the eye, took some and ate it. She also gave some to Adam, who was with her, and he ate it as well. Then their eyes were opened, and they realized they were naked. Fearful and ashamed, they sewed fig leaves together to cover themselves and hid from God among the trees of the garden. God called out to Adam, who admitted he was afraid because he was naked. Upon learning that they had eaten from the forbidden tree, God pronounced judgments. The serpent was cursed to crawl on its belly and eat dust all its days. Eve was condemned to experience pain in childbirth and to be ruled over by her husband. And Adam was destined to toil and labor for his food until he returned to the ground from which he was taken. God made garments of skin to clothe Adam and Eve and said, "The man has now become like one of us, knowing good and evil. He must not be allowed to reach out his hand and take also from the tree of life and eat and live forever." So God banished them from the Garden of Eden to work the ground from which Adam had been taken. He placed cherubim and a flaming sword flashing back and forth to guard the way to the tree of life. Thus Adam and Eve were cast out of paradise, beginning mankind's journey in a world of struggle and redemption. Yet even in their exile, God's love remained. Though sin had entered the world, so did the promise of salvation. From the seed of Eve would come the one who would restore mankind, Jesus Christ, the Savior of the world.